Over here in the red, competitive Warcraft 3 player with, I believe, more ladder games than almost anybody else out there.
Check the prime win.
Yep. You have to go to factchecks.org. Make sure that was actually correct, but I believe that is. So check, a lot of pressure on him right now. In the blue, we have our player that manhandled Pult Prime in that previous Terran vs. Terran. Let's see if his TVZ is as good.
TSL alive.
We will see, Tasteless. We will see.
All right, it's on. TVZ. This map's pretty new, so there are some judgments we can make about it, but at the same time, Tasis and Artosis.
Well, Czech has chosen this map. Obviously, he's going to like it quite a bit because he got to choose the map. Now,
yeah, what I was saying is that we're going to be learning this to some extent along with our audience.
Oh, certainly, yes. I mean, we've looked him over, but anyways, it is long distances to attack your opponent. The one thing that could be scary is where are you actually going to engage as a Zerg player?
Barracks is pretty far out there.
Yeah, it looks like I think he's going to open up with a double barracks, maybe put a little bit of pressure and expand. It's going to be a good build for this map. Make that wall in, because you kind of have to wall against Zerg, Tasteless.
Yeah, I know you absolutely have to wall.
If you don't wall against Zerg, they make a bunch of speedlings. You're like, oh.
You're like, oh, it turns out that unit's good.
When there's no wall.
And there's no wall. Terran, I like that how they kept Terran being required to wall in.
Yeah, we don't always see it in all the matchups, but
with the fact that it's a factor, it's pretty good.
But again, in StarCraft 1, you didn't always do it in all matchups.
Yeah.
It's up to you. But it's a good move as Terran. I like you don't have to lift off your barracks anymore. You just slot down the depot.
That's actually quite a nice touch because it was so easy to land or to get something under the depot.
Under the barracks.
Under the barracks. See, I did it again. This is my second, at least we know of.
That we know of.
That we know of. I probably
there could be many, many
I do it all the
mistakes.
time. There's actually a trick you could do in StarCraft 1 against somebody who was pretty new.
Yeah.
Where, let's say you get your probe or your drone there, and they're walling, and they want to lift their barracks to land it at the wall in, and they haven't made their first Marine, you actually just park the worker under the barracks and move around.
Yeah.
And make your Center Zealot or your Zerglings to attack it.
Every time that happened to me, I swore up my opponent and left the game.
I love doing that to people. That was so funny. So a little bit of feigning pressure here, when in fact Terran's going to expand.
Yeah. And it was actually 1 barracks expand instead of the 2, which is kind of interesting.
A little bit risky on this map.
You know, if he did go hatchery first, so luckily that won't bite him in the butt. And we see Czech has his pool up, making a queen. Gonna want to get a second queen pretty quickly as well. Starts that up. Little bunker going up. Gotta play safe. Command center is on the way.
Interesting, he puts those Marines outside, far out like that.
I think he's trying to catch any small Zergling squads going. You know, 1 or 2 Zerglings coming up to check his expansion. You know, check what's up there.
He might also end up shooting down the links before they get to see the bunker.
Yeah,
so he doesn't actually really get to know for sure what's going on.
Actually seen nothing so far. He's seen no Terran building.
And he will not get to see anything still.
So good usage of those Marines.
Way to go.
Yeah, they high-five in that bunker.
Way to nip that problem in the bud. Take care of it.
Quite true.
And now check. This is a situation Zerg just never really wants to be in. I mean, nobody wants to, but especially Zerg is when you're in the dark, you just don't have a lot of intel.
Yeah. Zergs are actually, fun fact, afraid of the dark.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Also, show that I used to watch on Nickelodeon as a kid.
Yeah, Are You
Did you
Afraid
ever watch
of the Dark?
that?
Yeah, of course. You know, as a Zerg player, I actually put my gamma up all the way. That's how afraid of the dark I am. And it looks like he may lose an Overlord that's just trying to see what's going on.
No, I think it's going to get away, actually. And it will be.
One shot left. Oh, my.
Man. If I were that Overlord, I'd just go down into the fog and rest.
I know.
Wait for someone to find me.
I'd be the first Overlord to land.
I would be, too.
No, you would, and there can only be one first Overlord to land.
Now we do it at the same time, we'd be tied for first. Because we're in Archon Artosis. Focus, man, focus.
I thought we were Overlords. What's going on?
We're in Archon Overlord.
All right, so Czech has a bunch of speedlings out. Notice the additional bunkers being made. And that is because he sees all his speedlings. He may think, oh, it's going to be maybe a high-economy baneling aggression, but it's not. It's just a bunch of speedlings.
You know what's smart is he put that second bunker way in the back,
yeah,
so he wouldn't see it until he walked all the way up and took damage from the first bunker.
Exactly. In fact, cancels those off, making Blue Flame Hellions at the moment.
That makes perfect sense.
Obviously going to do very, very well against the massive speedlings that Czech has made. Czech has to be very careful about this. He's going very economy heavy, making a ton of drones at the moment. He's already up to 36 drones with a lot more on the way. 28 SCVs for a Terran player. Really, Czech's entire army, his entire defense is a couple Queens and 24 Zerglings.
You know, one thing about this map is the way it's shaped, Hellions could be pretty good. You can't really defend everywhere at once with a spine crawler.
Yeah,
so
it's certainly going to be hard.
I think Czech's correct in getting the Zerglings, but at the same time, I got to say, I think that the Terran is very smart for knowing right away to get Hellions. And he is going to go for Banelings. I got to say, I don't know if Banelings are going to be very effective with the Hellions, with Hellions being on the map.
Yeah, he's getting that Spire as well, though.
Yeah.
So, pretty standard unit composition going to be coming out, Czech. The Blue Hellion Stasis are on the move. It is time. Czech, you better be scared because there are 6 Blue Flame Hellions coming your way. You're going to have 1 Spine Crawler, and it looks like Czech is going to try to wall in, but he's not moving his Queens very quickly.
He's going to have to go fast.
Oh, man.
I think he might have gotten a gradient, tried to go for a Larva and checked. Does that block?
No.
I thought he could have gone up there because, the 2 Queens.
Yeah, no, he could have. He could have just run by.
Can he actually sneak through that little area to the bottom left of the Banelings?
Yeah.
Can you check on that? That actually opens, right?
Yeah, that is
open. It's just a tree that...
He could have run by, but you got to be careful. There are speedlings in there. The thing is, the 6 Blue Flames will kill those quick enough. I'm surprised he didn't actually go through.
Yeah, me too.
Czech right now making some mutas, getting that Roach Warren up. A couple gases going up at the expansion of our Terran player. Alive going for some Thors right now as well to block off any mutalist harassment. These Blue Flame Hellion Stasis, I thought they would do more on their way down.
Well, it's kind of anticlimactic. I mean, you would really expect... I don't know. I mean, if I had those Blue Flame Hellions, I would have at least tried to squeeze through there. Yeah. But I almost feel like he misread that and was like, can I fit through there? I don't actually know if I can.
Yeah, I think he may be saving them just to add them to his ball that he's going to be using to attack. And goodbye, Viking. A very brave Viking trying to discover the new world. Did not work out for him.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Thought he was just a little bit too tough. He's like, I could take this. And he's like in a dogfight with 6 mutas. It's like, all right, dude.
You aren't Top Gun, man.
You are not. Yeah, this is not Top Gun. It's another actually amazing, terrible movie.
That's true.
It's no Troll. I haven't made you watch Troll yet, have I?
No.
Oh, it's bad, dude. You'll love it.
Mutalist harassment going on.
And we got upgrades coming here from the Zerg.
Yeah.
This is actually how Czech loves to do it. Is he, is a little bit scrappy early game.
Yeah.
It defends as well as he can, and then mid game is where he starts to get everything at once, using the mutas to keep the Terran matted inside the other guy's base.
Almost tries for a fruit dealer-esque style sometimes. Yeah. He does have 66 drones right now, by the way, so insane drone saturation. Really great drones. But he's got to keep Alive in his base. Because when Alive comes out, if he's getting all these upgrades and just drones, suddenly he's just going to die. The muta's not doing very much against these Thors.
I really like this interesting Hellion into just Thor for defense transition because it allows you to push a little bit sooner. Whoa, hold that thought. We got a drop going on over here. And the Lings are probably just not going to be enough.
So many kills on these Hellion Stasis.
And
oh my god.
There were still 4 full Hellions for so long. He loops around.
Oh, there's still 3 Hellions out. And those Hellions all together get about 30 kills. A lot of them Zerglings, though. Czech already back up to 52 drones, 59 drones now. That's what happens when you get a sick economy early on, which Czech really did do this game. Congratulations to him on that.
We really were hard on Czech early on in his StarCraft 2 career for just kind of not being with it when it came to economics in StarCraft 2. For sort of having
this game,
strange drone saturation. He's not looking like that at all this time around. He's looking very solid.
Yeah, no, he's definitely worked in that. No question. Seen, he just, that's he has a lot of drones, man. It's doing a good job.
And it looks like Czech may try to poke in here with the mutas. It's not going to be effective. Am I right?
I think you're right, Tasteless. We'll have to see, though. Thor's everywhere.
Terran's going to do a very fast timing push here.
Yeah, he's actually going for a few Hellions, a bunch of Thors, and a bunch of Marines, and that is actually
it's pretty scary.
All he's making. Yeah,
he's got some drones over here, and I think he sees that big chunk of drones up here.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
3 and 4 kills. Roach is being made right now. Now, I like this Roach switch. He's actually going to get +1 Roach attack and +2 Roach armor right now. And that's going to be pretty good because the army that Alive is going to come out with is going to be Thor Marine.
Yeah.
And realistically, that can be scary with, just Mutalisks or something like Mutalisk Zergling. You have to really hit your Banelings very well with that. And he is even making some siege tanks now. So actually, it looks like, see this, taking a third base, he's getting siege tanks out. So I guess he's not actually going to go for the timing attack.
Yeah, I was wrong too. I really expected it to be a 2-base timing attack.
Yeah, he's just using the Thors to really cover any harassment. And then taking into siege tanks, I think he's just going to go for a nice 3-base into just a very strong late game.
Very interesting. Okay, now he's getting the sensor tower up. Sign of a safe, smart player. Says, I don't want to be counterattacked. Infestation pit on the way here. Now, Czech's got to not like this because, late game TVZ is pretty tricky. It's a bit of a slugfest. And, Zerg has to hit from every angle perfectly every single time. Terran has to know when to turn around. Actually, Zerg does need to know that as well.
Right now we have some pretty good creep strike going. I love that Czech is taking a 4th base.
Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing everything right, actually.
Yeah, we could use a little bit more creep spread. Really connect up all these bases so that he can defend them very, very quickly. But he's got a lot of roaches. He's got +2 armor. He's got +1 attack. He's got burrow movement, speed, burrow. So his roaches are going to be pretty fierce right now. But
looks like he's moving up the ramp.
He might be trying to do a little attack here.
He might just try to target fire the orbital. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
By the way, a lot of mules there at those cheat patches.
And, of course, he can burrow, but Terran does have scan.
Now, this is interesting. He's using the mules at that base tasteless, and that's going to mine that base out very quickly. That's going to allow him to float the command center away if he wants to expand somewhere else, but still has gas left in those guys as well, so it's going to be an interesting choice for him, what he's going to do.
That was a pretty good move there by Czech, because you also get to check and see, is that a planetary? So he then knows, okay, it's not. That means that you can actually do what Artosis just said, which is relocate that base.
Yeah, I think that would be a bad place for a planetary, to be honest.
No, that would be a terrible
somewhere
place.
where you can mine more minerals.
Gold bases, stuff like that.
All right, it looks like he's starting to push out.
Okay, it's
Both
happening.
players have maxed out, by the way. Both players at 199 supply. And Czech has a very interesting army. Has Infestors out. Has a lot of Banelings, a lot of Zerglings,
Here we
a lot
go.
of Roaches.
Oh,
and
no, not a single fungal.
Did he just throw it? Oh, no. Okay. That was a Roach. I thought he threw an Infested.
Oh, man, this is going to be tough. Terran's getting close, but he is on creep. There are a lot of Banelings. Remember, tanks and Thors don't really care about Banelings.
No. In fact,
but
they
Marines
hate him.
do.
They hate him in a way the Marines don't hate him. Oh, he's getting really close. Good fungal there. You got to be careful. You can't really send Marines in front of your siege tanks against Infestor attack.
Very nice, taking out the creep tumors there.
Oh man, he's getting so far ahead of his siege tanks. He's got to be so careful. That Marine clump, Tasteless.
Yeah, he needs to be spreading
Tasteless,
that stuff.
tell him he needs to be careful.
You need to stop that right now and be careful.
If fungals get all over those Marines, then suddenly Czech is just going to own him.
Yeah, one small mistake.
Did you say one's mama tank?
I said once. Oh, hold that thought. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Good move. They're not sieged up. Grabbing a Thor, grabbing some siege tanks as well. The Banelings stuck behind, and in they go.
Here they go.
Oh, man.
Let's see here. The Thor has been mind-controlled, but it looks like the Marines and the Thor were just too much.
They were indeed.
You know what's funny? The Banelings were stuck in the back.
Yeah.
That entire time. They should have cleaned up those Marines. It just would have taken 1 or 2 Banelings to hit where they needed to hit.
Yeah, you have to be really careful about that. You should be having your Banelings on a different hotkey, microing them around, trying to flank, get a different angle.
Right-clicking past them, surrounding them.
Yeah. Well, we see now that the supplies pretty similar. 164 for Alive, 175 for Czech.
All right, he's just going to try to just wipe this hatchery out.
Oh, man. And that is going to be pretty deadly.
He might even try to drop somewhere else after this. He took out enough of those mutas.
That drone centipede wants to mine. And, ooh, he does clean it up.
Beautiful. The hatchery stays alive. Thor is like, what just happened, guys? I slept in. And the Marines now coming down here to reinforce. He should probably drop down there on the low ground again, try to get the Zerg out of position.
Oh, Tasteless, we have something to show the viewers in a moment here. Czech is going to run up the map a bit. He's going to run into something quite interesting.
Yeah, if we can pan up a little bit here, we have a... Well, we won't tell you guys till we actually see it.
A planetary fortress wall is being made.
Planetary fortress wall, there you go.
Look at that. That is actually, if that gets out, it's going to be pretty awesome. There are some roaches in here trying to stop that from ever occurring, as well as some infested Terrans, but the planetaries look like they're going to finish up Tasteless.
Uh-oh. Like, hold that thought, though. He's going to move over here, try to get this other orbital. He can lift that off. Of course, roaches cannot attack air units. Now he's moving up further north. Towards the heart of the Terran space.
Over-investing with this attack, I think. You know, yeah, it's still doing a lot of damage, but Marauders are popping out. They have +3/+1 against these 2/2 roaches. Bringing up a lot of SCVs, though. Czech doing quite a bit of damage. Meanwhile, that planetary fortress wall trying to stop as many roaches as possible.
That was an interesting choice to make the planetary fortress wall. We did see a TLO experiment with some stuff like this in the beta and sort of give up on it. Czech, though, definitely in the lead by miles. However,
yeah,
you know, Terran's going to have to get more bases. That's cool that he has a planetary fortress wall. It doesn't actually
it's
help much.
really
Zerg
cool.
just keeps expanding.
It's a cool thing to see, Tasteless. But the thing is, he's basically mined out. You know, he took that 750 minerals per patch base and mined that out. His natural's just about gone. His main, in fact, has the most minerals left, which is almost none still. And finally, he is going to take another base.
And he's going to be going for Broodlords here.
Yeah.
So
things looking really good for Czech.
Planetary Fortress is not going to be very useful against Broodlords at all.
No.
It looks like Zerg hasn't quite had the moment to get the Corruptors to then get the Broodlords. Whoa!
Roach is going into.
I don't know if they should be attacking here. That's a lot of Marauders.
Yeah, Marauders with Medivacs, greatly upgraded. Czech's units, of course, upgraded as well, but you don't run into Siege Tanks and Marauders and Medivacs with just Roach, as Czech has just relearned.
This Roach is like, I made a mistake.
He gets all confused and dizzy and runs into the Terran base. That's not going to help.
That is definitely not going to help.
So right now, we do have an additional base for our Terran player, so he's going to try to get back into it. And
Broodlords.
Ooh.
I don't know if
those
Terran is ready. That's going to change everything. He needs to be careful when he attacks.
Yeah.
Remember, he just lost a lot of roaches. If he attacks with the Broodlords and loses them, well, you can't just keep making chunks of Broodlords and winning. You eventually want to switch back into Ultra. So he's got to be very calculated with this attack.
Well, you know, I think those Broodlords are going to do a great job, Tasteless. Mostly a lot of Marauders out right now. The Roaches kind of made him go a lot of Marauders, and with Marauder tank-based play and just some Marines in there, the Broodlords should be pretty good. Some drop harassment down here, cleaned up by the Roaches.
Pacifist Marine stays inside the Medivac.
He might be the leader.
Could
be.
be
What to do.
Could be the coward.
Alive is not going to be very happy when he sees these Broodlords, Tasteless.
Well, I think Alive thinks he's bouncing back, and he's not.
Yeah, with his mostly Marauder army.
But you never know. I mean, all you have to do is miscontrol Broodlords, get him underneath the Marines, and
yeah.
I mean,
But right now,
it.
he does only have 24 Marines in the army. He's moving across the map. And he's going to see that, and I think he's going to decide, ooh, this is actually pretty scary.
And he's got to
He's going to do it.
He's going to go for it. Let's see if it works.
Trying to control his Marines and get them up there to
He
target.
probably should have backed up a little bit.
Yeah. Try to take out as many roaches as possible, then do it. But
okay, this was a mistake.
Ooh. Yeah.
Get him away from me.
+3 armor, +1 melee attack Broodlings, Tasteless.
Yeah, I don't think he should have engaged there. I think he saw those Broodlords and was sort of like, huh. Nice, though. Knowing that the roaches are faster than the Broodlords. Sorry, go ahead, Artosis.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that. And the Roach is going to chase him all the way home.
Okay, now here's where he needs to turn around.
Some Vikings are being made right now.
Now he is at a good angle here with the Marines. He can focus fire these Broodlords. One Broodlord goes down, but he needs to get rid of the rest of these roaches here.
Yeah,
he's
really
not
does.
target fighting with the Marines, and I don't know why. Now he's back here. I think he was macroing or something during that.
Maybe, but he's got to just be so aggressive at getting rid of broods. Thing is, he's going to have some Vikings out, and yeah, here they come.
Do we have an Ultimus Cavern? Do you mind checking on the map during this battle, Artosis?
I will do that, Tasos.
And, okay, the Vikings are out, and it looks like Alive has actually managed to hold this position. And here's where it's a problem, is that, like I said before, you don't just keep making chunks of Broodlords going back, because the trick with TVZ is you want to make Broodlords, make the Terran, make Vikings, and then switch to Ultralisks, because Vikings are the absolute most useless unit against an Ultralisk.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Like the most.
I don't think we've seen an Ultra Cavern.
Well, Phoenixes are up there as well, but...
Oh, yeah, of course.
Nah, Vikings more so, because you think you can land them to damage the Ultra,
and then
can't.
they die. They die before the animation is done.
Yeah. But no, there are no Ultralisk Caverns out there.
So it's almost like Czech didn't complete the tech tree.
Yeah, he's really
switch.
preferring to stay on the Roaches. He does love his Roaches, Tasos. Making some more Infestors as well to help out against these Marines. Of course, Infestors with Broodlords, always an amazing combination against anything in the game.
Scanning, moving forward. Viking here to spot. Oh, siege tank not in siege mode. Stim, he's got to be run with those Marines. And very nice dropping infested Terrans, not opting to mind control the Thor.
Yeah, did not have enough energy.
This was a big mistake.
Yeah, Czech's starting to fall apart here, Tasis. In fact, supplies 125 for Czech, 130 for Alive. So Alive is bouncing back. He has taken a base in the top right, which is truly helping him at this point. And, this is actually really interesting. Czech just not choosing good unit combinations, not waiting for enough to fungal, instead throwing down... You know, he needed the fungals against those Marines. If you don't have it, don't just throw infested Terrans thinking you're going to beat fully upgraded Marines with medevacs. You got to be careful about that.
Okay, I think Czech's lost control here. He's moving and attacking. Actually, excuse me, I didn't see those Banelings from the bottom.
Yeah, some very important Banes.
I don't know if he should be attacking this much. He's going to lose the Infestors. They're getting sandwiched right now. He needs to get those Infestors out of there. Okay, like this is bad. Czech, though, still taking the bottom right side of the map. Very inaccessible location of Terran. Terran cleans up the expansion.
Yeah, good medevac harassment, and GG.
Wow, Czech just...
falling apart there at the end.
Just tapped out of that. Mm-hmm. Light Alive's like, I feel so good.
Yeah.
Man. Well, Alive is bringing it home.
Yeah, Alive from the TSL.
Nice pick here.
Good play that game. He got really far behind, and you know, he played really, really well, but Czech definitely did mess up cases. You know, he did not engage right with the units he was making. Totally, you can see he's quite disappointed in himself. A very good player in his own right, but not good enough to take down Alive here.
Late game StarCraft is where it really starts to get crazy. Yeah. You know, you have to deal with the constant battles over and over again. You have to deal with moments where you might lose your whole army. And I think there was a period where he just, I think it was, the turning moment was right when the Broodlings were killed. The Broodlords, were killed. And he
that first wave of Broodlings.
And then Czech was just like, oh, well, great. I mean, I invested so much in that. I don't actually have a plan. I guess I can run around the map. And, you know, he had that frustrating moment where he was something like, a planetary fortress wall? You know, like, okay, great. I don't get any practice against that. And I think so many things went wrong for him in that game. He fell apart. He was attacking into areas he didn't need to attack into. It's like Terran turf that doesn't have an expansion in it. Yeah.
Well, you know, the last moment where Czech really showed that he had kind of given up hope is when he threw those infested Terrans at the Marine Ball.
Yeah.
When you go up there and you're like, oh, I just barely don't have enough. You threw 2 infesteds from each. If you don't have enough, you back up and then you fungal. He needed those fungals. He didn't do it. He's just like, whatever. And it kind of gave up from there.
Surprise, surprise.
Marine King Prime.
Marine King Prime, our 2-time finalist here at the GSL. Now representing Team Prime in the GSTL. Can he come back? If there's somebody that can do it, it would be him. He definitely has a frightening lineup. TSL doesn't even have enough players to that are so good to even finish up this lineup. We have Fruit Dealer. We have Sungho, Clyde, Rain.
Yeah.
Those are very good players, and we already know Alive is actually very good. Now the question is, Marine King Prime, pretty good at TDT.
Yeah.
Now everybody sort of has his playbook. We don't know if he's going to mix up and try a different style, but
Well,
he's a good TDTer.
yeah. We'll have to see what he wants to do here. You know, his style, I hope that he chooses a good map to use it on. Maybe Zelnaga Cavern, something like that.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't, then his style is going to be much easier to kill. Now, does Alive really have what it takes to destroy his style? Because as we said before, his Terran vs. Terran style, that Marine... Oh my god, Scrap Station, interesting.
Wow.
That's not where you would expect for Marine King to want to play.
Well, it's a map where you can definitely do that base trade drop to the main.
You can do that.
We are going to go to a break, guys. So you're going to have a little bit of downtime. I recommend you do another set of those tricep push-ups are recommended.
You don't want to work out the same muscle group too many times, Tasis.
Well, you know, our toasts, they didn't have that many times for that many sets. Only time for 2
maybe
sets.
some of them are very quick. These
Maybe.
are StarCraft players, Tasis. They have high APM, man. They're
That's
doing all
true.
sorts of reps. They have high RPM, reps per minute, Tasis.
Now I want you to get that squeezy wrist thing on your desk. Squeeze that 100 times.
I have one of those on my desk.
I got one of those too.
Gotta keep my wrists strong.
Yeah, that's why I got to keep those forearms strong so people can actually think maybe, oh, he must play basketball. Nope. Got a squeezy thing on my desk. We're going to be back in just a little bit with Tasteless and Tastosis.
And also some StarCraft, too.
And Marine King Prime, of course, and Alive. TSL, and we'll see you guys soon. Don't go too far away. We'll be back